And this game is pretty linear, so it's not going to be easy. Alright, well, I'm ready when you are, so. $54.59, I like it. Solid meme.
Now
Right.
you need to get the pipe skip.
The pipe skip, the really bad pipe skip.
The really bad pipe skip. That's what I was talking about.
Alright. In 3, 2, 1, go! So this game starts off pretty intense. It's like a 45-second cutscene. And then we're gonna get to play for 30 seconds, and then there's a 2-minute cutscene. So, yeah. All the hype at the beginning here. The awesome cutscene skip? There is actually an awesome cutscene skip. It saves like 15 seconds, but it's awful. It requires a frame-perfect death, and it's not easy. It's not easy. I've gotten it twice. I'm not gonna. I don't think this is the right time to go for it.
But I think it is.
You do? Okay. All right. So let's go. So this is Hob. Hob is the hobbyist Hob in Hobville, and all those things. We're gonna start off by doing a low skip here. We just jam ourselves into this corner, and then for whatever reason, if I can get the angle right, you can like jump up here. Come on. Let's try this again. It's a really good start. Come on now. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Beautiful. That's not a difficult trick, but it's fun. Everything is slightly different than on my computer, so it's quite a bit of getting used to, but it'll be fun. I'll get to explaining the actual game in a little bit once we get to the next cutscene here. There I just used some collision to boost myself up a little bit and trigger this, or get here earlier than I'm supposed to. Alright, so this is Mr. Giraffe. He's our good friend. He can possibly be a douchebag later on, but we'll try to hopefully pray enough that he doesn't troll us. Yeah, so Hob is a game, if you couldn't tell. It's a very pretty game, and it's a game about this little dude. If he is Hob, the Hob, a Hob, I don't know. I have no idea. But he starts off this game pretty solidly by losing an arm.
Damn.
It's pretty intense stuff. But yeah, basically the game is like, I think some people have described it like a Zelda-ish game, where you have a lot of like similar, like just basic like adventure elements. The game has a little bit of puzzles, mostly just platforming and some combat, and it has some elements of like a Metroidvania, I guess, where you, as you'll see in a little bit, it didn't crash, so that's good. That's a good start. For whatever reason, during these credits, the game likes to crash, but we've kind of figured out a way around it, so it really doesn't happen all that often anymore. Yes, we see Bastion from Overwatch is very nice and gives us an arm, since we lost ours. And that's gonna be like our main way of like, or main thing that we upgrade during the run. We get different abilities for our big ass glove. So
Kind of
again,
like Ratchet and Clank.
that's entirely possible. I've never played Ratchet and Clank. That's the game of the things and the guns, right?
Hmm.
Alright, gotcha.
Like, bad advertising.
I hope people pick that up. TUI.com or whatever it is. Alright, so yeah. Perfect. So yeah, now we get to the actual gameplay part. So you'll see me rolling a lot. As of right now, that's our fastest way of moving. But in just a little bit, we're gonna change that by getting a sword. All the collision here is really wonky, actually. So yeah, now we have our big ass hand. We can drag and interact with a lot of things that we previously couldn't. And then we meet up with Bastion again. I think that's like what every single person who played this game has said. It's like, oh, Bastion, what are you doing here? And I mean, the similarities are striking, but whatever. So now, the early parts of this game is they're fairly straightforward, fairly slow paced, but soon enough we'll get to do some really cool skips and stuff. So yeah, as far as the story of the game is concerned, it's kind of hard to say. There's some corruption stuff going on in the world, and I didn't get it. You can do a little bit of a, like, 1 second skip there. But yeah, there's some corruption going on in the world, and our robot friend has decided that we need to fix it. So he gives us an arm and gives us a literal hand. And yeah, we spend pretty much the entire game just running around, clearing different areas of corruption. And that's pretty much it. And then you have, since all games need to have a binary choice at the end of the game, we have essentially a choice between the good ending and the bad ending. But we'll get to that a little bit later. So, now that we have the sword, we can use this game's animations and cancel them out a little bit and get a shit ton of speed. So I'm gonna do a lot of rolls and then quickly do an attack and then cancel the attack with the roll. And that just boosts me forward at tremendous speeds. So that's gonna be our new method of moving. You'll see a little bit of it here, but after this next cave I'm gonna go into, it'll be more obvious. So a little skip there too. You can use the little brass parts at on the ground to give you a little bit of extra height, so you can reach an area you're not supposed to. Normally there's a box you would have to move and use to climb up. So yeah. This is one of 3 required enemies that we gotta kill. There is a different category of this where you're allowed to play at a low FPS to clip into walls, and that way you can clip through or clip past that guy. But I'm not gonna do that for this category. For the most part though, the clip category and the no clip category are essentially the same. They might not be in the future, but as of right now they're essentially the same. Alright, so here we grab our first upgrade for our first ability for our fancy new punch glove. This is going to be the ability to punch things, because so far we've only had the ability to touch things and drag things. So now we can punch, and if you see at the top of the screen, there's a little like brass icon with like a fist on it. And I can already tell this is a terrible pace, but it's fun. We got a pretty shitty start. We'll make up for it. But yeah, so this little shiny thing up by this wall, we can punch, and cool things happen. So now that we have the punch, we can go again. Like it's not really a Metroidvania thing, I guess, but it's just the concept of you have a bunch of areas you can't access until you get certain abilities, and then you have to backtrack, or you can return to areas you've been before. So with this new punch ability, we can beat our way through these walls. It's going to be useful. So I'm going to run over here and grab this thing. This is a shrine that gives you some kind of currency. Let's just call it money. It's fun. I picked one up. And I've gone mute. Okay, it's fine. Let's see. Okay, we didn't mess that up. Good. And we didn't mess that up. Excellent. Okay. That saves like 6 seconds or something. It's not a big deal. But it's a neat little trick. But yeah, we currently have 22 money. And we need 60 for a really important upgrade later on. So that's what we're working on. So I'm gonna try to, yes, cool. So yeah, here you do a regular roll and then a attack cancel to get into perfect position for this cutscene to start. So old cutscenes in this game have like 2 triggers. You have one trigger that just takes away control, removes your control of the character, so your character can just like slowly move into position to start the actual cutscene. So anytime we can roll into or like attack cancel into a cutscene trigger, that's gonna be beneficial. Alright. So now we're gonna go say hello to Mr. Giraffe Friend from before. You see him on the left there, and he starts moving. Okay, so since I'm stuck in this animation, he can sometimes just... He was moving pretty slow today, so it's fun. He can actually move you away from the shrine and essentially soft lock you. The giraffe lock is pretty solid.
Can't use the...
Yes, yes, this is true. So the blue bar below my health is my energy essentially, and to use a like fully charged punch when the glove like flashes blue, you back?
I'm not sure. Yes,
Yeah,
I
okay, excellent. Yeah, to get a full punch, you need a full bar of energy. So yeah, this is the area I was talking about where I'll do a lot of cancels, and I hope the microphones don't pick up my my inputs because they're because they're pretty loud. I essentially press B just to do a regular roll, and then I slide my finger from X to B on my controller, since I play on Xbox controller. So, because of my microphone setup at home, it's very loud for everyone watching. But that's okay. Alright, so we just picked up our last shrine, so now we have 62 monies. So that's all we need. So here I'm gonna go to the right here to skip a cutscene. It's like a 10-second cutscene, it's not a big deal, it's just an animation of you being like stuck staring at the area you're about to enter. And what we're doing here, normally there's a whole bunch of stuff you're supposed to do here to get access to the cave that I'm gonna go to in like 15 seconds. And the reason we go here to begin with is because we need our next ability. So yeah, for whatever reason, because of how collision works, we can just climb that button, which saves doing a lot of really annoying stuff. So we're gonna try to speed this stuff up a bit by just dropping down here. Do a jump over here. Awesome. Well, this saves quite a bit of time compared to doing the dungeon normally. We just jump directly to the upgrade that we're looking for. But it also has the really neat side effect of we skip every single checkpoint in the cave. So normally you would have to get the ability and then use your new ability, which is a warp ability, to make your way back out the same way you came, basically. But because we skipped every checkpoint, we can just suicide and we spawn back by the beginning. So it actually saves a decent bit of time. So now we have, excuse me. Oh, hard falls. Yeah, you also see me try to roll as soon as I land. It's just a way to skip the like second long animation of our character just falling to the ground and getting back up. But yeah, so now we have, for now at least, the only important abilities of the game. So now we're gonna get moving and actually do some skips, some solid skips. So far you've seen a couple, but they're fairly minor. So now I just bought the thrust ability, which basically when I run and then attack, I do like a little stabby thing, like that. And that you can also cancel. So this is now our fastest way of moving, is thrust, cancel, and then roll. And with it you can do really fun stuff like this, if we can actually get it. Come on, come on. There we go. And if it's not obvious, you're not supposed to do that. So we essentially skip out on the whole previous area we were in, where we got the new ability and stuff in the cave. That whole area we just skip now by doing things this way. And these jumps are just referred to as long jumps or thrust jumps, and you're gonna see a lot of them. gonna use it again here to make our way over here. And again, we're just skipping huge parts of the puzzles here. So with the thrust jump, we can enter a lot of areas like from the wrong side, or which is most often the case, just earlier than you're supposed to. And it's uh-oh, that's awkward. It's fine. It's definitely the main like trick of the game. So you also have seen during this these 15 minutes of gameplay, this game is really fond of long animations. So a lot of the game, or a lot of the run, is also all about like trying to cancel out animations. So for this, there's a like a 10-second animation of you just staring at what you've done. But if you just do a punch, you skip that animation entirely. Also, I have a feeling I'm about to get bullied, but okay. No, he was nice today. He just ran away. So right now, I'm just trying to make my way to either side of this big dome thing to lift it up a little bit, and then we can enter and go to factory, which honestly is one of the harder areas of the game. And
what happened there?
Hmm?
What happened there?
Oh, that was just me suiciding again.
Ah.
If you open the menu, there's a respawn option, and again, it's just to get my health back for safety, and just to end up in a good position for because I need to go over to the right anyway. It doesn't really matter. All right. Yeah, there are a couple tiny things you can, like tiny optimizations you can do. Just run into this wall and whoop, eventually you'll pop up over it a little earlier than you're supposed to. Alright. And now we get to, like, we don't really have any good names for any of the areas in this game, but yeah, this is just what we normally refer to as factory. And this is why, like, normally we would be able to go here immediately as soon as we get the thrust jumps, or actually earlier. When you get your punch ability, you can actually do something similar. So yeah, in theory, you could have made it over here like way earlier, but to actually progress through this area, you need the warp ability that we picked up earlier. So you'll see that in action in a little bit.
And this looks like the area with the really bad pipe skip.
Yes, it is. And I have no idea how I died there. I just rolled off the edge. Okay, well, that's fine. Oh my god, this collision is so weird. Again, collision in this game is FPS dependent, so this is running at a way higher FPS than I'm used to, so I keep getting like stuck on things. But it's okay, we'll manage. And speaking of the really bad pipe skip, I don't think I will do the really bad pipe skip.
You should try it at least once.
Okay, that's fair, that's fair. So yeah, again, this game is really fond of long cutscenes you get, or animations that you can't do anything about, so we just wait here. And you see the little pads with some kind of brass stuff going on. This thing right here. This is where we're using the warp ability, and we do stuff like this. And because Ed requested it, we'll do really bad pipe skip. Saves like 3 seconds over the next ability, next skip, and it's pretty darn precise. Hence the name, really bad pipe skip. That's bad. Oh, it's fine. Okay, cool. Hey, we got there.
I told you.
Ah, that's good call. Good call. Granted, I lost more time attempting it 3 times, but it's fine. It's fine. It's a really cool trick. It's just, it's not very consistent and requires some really precise movement and a really precise angled jump. Right, so it's gonna be a little bit downtime again. Thanks for the clap up always. Some more long-ass animations. So, the main thing we're doing right now is just we're trying to start the main quest, which consists of clearing the all the corruptions in the world. There are 7 total. So that's essentially all we're doing. We're just trying to get that started so we can actually get to, what do you call it? The meat of the game. Yeah, we nailed our BPS. Yeah, it's all good, it's all good. Happy we got it, so. Right, so now we're coming up on, not quite yet, but in a little bit, we're coming up on a trick that looks super scary, but it's actually pretty free. And since I said that, I'm probably gonna fail it horribly, because that's how karma works. Use some Norwegian words every now and then. Sounds like solid commentary. It's just gonna result in me babbling and rant. Elsker Rosa Kanin. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. People wouldn't understand my Norwegian, my farmer's dialect. Poor me. Right.
We lost the chat again. I'm just here to move the mouse.
Yeah. Mark left. It's Mark left. Come on now. We're not Swedes. I can say jump. Oh, wait. Right, so yeah, there's not a whole lot to talk about here. It's just like basic movement, but after this section is where the game really picks up. So yeah, this is the trick I was talking about. That is, it's pretty free, but as long as you don't stress out about it, I think the game can smell fear. So once you dread it, you're screwed essentially. So we just line up here and we just drop down all the way over here and grab this ladder, because that's safe. We have our new arms, so it's all good. All right, that was really good, solid. So that big drop down to the ladder, it's one of those things where it feels like it would save a whole bunch of time. It saves like 20 seconds. But it looks way cooler than doing it the other way, so. So what we picked up there was our first keystone. You pick up 3 keystones throughout the run. I think 3 or 4. I think it's 3. Excuse me. This bush is getting in my way. But you pick up a few keystones and you put them into these machines, and they basically lower and raise the terrain around you. So this is how a lot of the game, well, many parts of the game are like gated off by these machines. So you need to get the keystone before you can progress. And it's part of the reason why this run is, all things considered, fairly linear. In theory, after you clear the first corruption, you can do the corruptions in any order you want, but going out of your way to clear them in a different order doesn't make any sense. So a long jump here to just skip some platforming. Then we get to the final boss fight. These guys are the final 2 enemies we need to kill. Oh, that's bad. Oh, took 1 damage, that's good. There we go. Die, please. Oh, excuse me.
They need 2 hits to die?
They have 7 health as far as like, and a thrust move. The big, just basic thrust deals 3 damage, and a regular slash deals 1. So what I'm aiming for is 2 thrust and 1 slash. But it's not always that easy. That part can also be kind of scary because the big lanky ass guys, they can do anywhere from 1 to 4 attacks, and it's kind of hard to react to how many they decide to do on whatever like day it is, whatever they feel like doing. And in addition to that, you have a bunch of like bugs that spit stuff at you, and those deal a lot of damage too, and they can rack up really easily because we only have 3 health at this point. Oh, we're actually gonna stay at 3 health throughout the entire run. We don't bother picking up any upgrades at all. So we just freed our first sprite, and now we're gonna go release Mama, the big Mama sprites. She's gonna sing a little song for us first. Then I know people refer to these things as Metroid grapes, so I feel like that's an appropriate name. Also, I did a minor, completely pointless thing there. If you time it correctly, you need to stab the things, and if you time it correctly, you can put away your sword while you're stabbing them, so you just punch them instead, and it looks way cooler. Has no actual function, but it just looks cooler. So yeah, you can see the little sprite guy on the left. He just lined up on one of the 7 little pillars, I guess. So yeah, this is where the sprites will go when we clear the corruption around the world, and then Mama will show us the final destination. That's where we're going to go at the very end of the game. Right, so we go pick up another keystone, and off we go. So now we're going to go back to the area we were before, and grab the warp ability, the electric fields as we call them. But we're gonna go there in a bit of a fancy way. So we're just gonna do a few jumps over here. And then, oh, I can't see anything. This is gonna be awkward. It's fine, okay, whatever. So we just sneak our way along the cliff there, and we can just enter this area. We're now behind the corruption in the area we were before. I really should grab this checkpoint. If I die on the next trick, it's gonna cost me like 1.5 minutes. So let's just do this. Yeah, I'm just doing a long jump to skip a cutscene. It's like 40 seconds long, so it's oh, excuse me. It's nice to skip, and we're already at our second corruption. So we get some more beautiful singing. Like super salty stuff. See, that's the thing. I'm Scandinavian. I'm fine. If I was American, I would have died.
It's good.
Yeah, it is. It's fine. Oh, that's awkward.
The French guy.
All right. So to get to the next place, we're gonna use the keystone. We're just gonna use the game's pretty handily placed invisible walls on top of these trees and just kill ourselves by this checkpoint. Can't remember how much that saves, but it's pretty nice. You skip going through an entire section through a cave and stuff. More lanky guys, they just want to say hi. And because I'm stupid, I'm of course going to go for a really dumb strat here that essentially has a 50% chance of just not working. Like you can get here, and then if the game's feeling it, you'll be fine. If the game's not feeling it, it's literally impossible. No matter how well you do, it's impossible. We'll go for it. Saves like 10 seconds. This licorice thing is getting stuck in my teeth.
That usually happens.
Alright. Oh, Beautiful, first try, nice.
Nice.
That's really nice. It's, again, you're essentially at the mercy of the game at that point, because if the game wants it to work, it'll work. If the game doesn't want it to work, then there's nothing you can do.
And let's all bear in mind that it's in 60 hertz instead of 144.
Yeah, that's also a thing. It's not as big of a deal as I thought it would be. But yeah, the game running at a slightly lower FPS than I'm used to is kind of awkward, but it's fun. Actually, when I think about it, I think VSync might be off, so it shouldn't have anything or that much impact. Yeah. See me do some random slashes there. That's just to skip the little cheering animation he does after you clear a corruption. It's like, I did it! Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna do some totally intended mountain climbing. And go get our last ability for our... where am I? Here we go. Last ability for our big ass glove. Which is gonna be grapple. Grapple is very handy. You'll see why in a little bit. But first we're gonna try to do this cave backwards. Nice, that's actually really cool. And we didn't softlock, excellent. Every time you stick your hand into one of these machines, you have a chance you softlock. So similar to the cave where we got the warp ability, the reason I did this thing backwards was because you'll see now the camera shift, and towards the back of the screen is where we're supposed to go with our new ability. But by doing things this way, we avoid that checkpoint right next to the machine, so we can just teleport back up and just save 15 or so seconds. So, now we have all the abilities we're gonna get for the run. And now it's all gonna be using them in fancy ways. Excuse me. So this is what grapple does. These little blue points, you can just grapple onto. Oh, bad movement there, but it's fine. And we're gonna use the grapple to do something very fun in the next area. At least I find it very fun. But we'll get to that in a little bit. First we need some more cutscenes, because of course we need this little Chicky Poo to give us there we go, enter Chicky Poo. She gives us the last keystone of the game. So I think the world map is going to show up after we grab this. But yeah, you'll basically see we've done a big circle, and we're about to go over to up to like the northeast part of the map and do like finish off the circle and then go back to where we started.
East-west, you mean?
East-west, clearly. Yims. All the Finnish memes. So yep, for now, just more of the same. Try to avoid these enemies because they're really, really mean. This next guy is a sniper. He will essentially hit you no matter what you do. Even if you make your way like halfway over here, you can still get hits because he has homing boomerangs. Oh, that was awkward. Right. What kind of pace is this? I have no idea. But I'm gonna stick with fairly safe spreads. Oh. Rip. Oh,
Losing the
there
microphone.
we go. Well, I'll do my best. But we got a pretty terrible start, so I don't have high hopes for this, but we'll see. Alright. Let's go swimming and let's not get eaten by fish. Thank you, fish. So this probably seems really, really slow, and it kind of is, but it's still 20 seconds faster than doing the intended routes. So we just sneak our way over here and try to... Oh, that's awkward. I could tell that was gonna happen. That jump is really, really tricky. Well, it's just precise. If you hit the angle like too shallow, I guess, you'll hit the wall and you just bonk and can't make it up there. And if you hit it too wide, then you just fall and die. So second try, it's fine. And now we get to the hardest part of the run, especially when you're learning this. This is definitely the most difficult part. We've had probably like 4 or 5 different routes for this section, and our the initial route actually skipped this section entirely. But we've come up with a really neat strat which uses the grapple that we just got. Just you gotta do some very precise parkour. No, apparently not. Let's go, come on. There we go, beautiful. Time to bounce on some pipes. But yeah, we're gonna use the grapple to do something called grapple storage. Basically, we're gonna grapple and cancel the grapple with a punch, and that lets us keep the grapple for as long as we want. I say as long as we want, it has some... That's a little asterisk there. If you take more than 2.5 minutes, the game will crash. So we're gonna do some more completely intended platforming. Don't tell me this is not the way to go. So you can see at the bottom it says hold left bumper. That's the grapple, and we're just going to use that to essentially take a shortcut out of the dungeon once we're done. So once we kill this guy, we're just going to hold the left bumper, and remember when I said this category was no clip? Just don't worry about it. You didn't see anything. Totally intended. It's fine. It's fine. Grapple storage is a beautiful thing. Yes. We're gonna use it one more time at the end of the run to do a little skip that I'm very proud of. I'm very proud I found that. It's all kind of silly, so that's always good. All right, so now we essentially slowly but surely start to make our way back to where we started. Got some more long jumps to do down here, and some corruptions to clear. Bob's a busy man. Gotta save the world and all that. Little guy. Okay. I can't remember the angle for this jump, so I'm just not gonna bother. Let's just do this. Make our way over here again. Completely intended. So is this next jump right here. It's totally what you're supposed to do. And once again, I will try to skip the celebration animation by doing a long jump, cancel with a roll, and then 2 attacks. So you just gotta get that down fairly quickly, otherwise you won't get it. Also, I'm dead. That's awkward. As to why I'm dead, I'm not sure, but it's fine. It's okay. Guess stuff had been going too well for a little bit. So, when you play this game casually, you will have done... What am I doing? You will have done a lot of stuff. You would have moved a lot of things to make those pipes match up, so you could just walk over here. But we ignore all of that, so we gotta do long jumps to make up for it. So one of the main objectives of this game is to spread the water from, let's just call it the water temple, over throughout the entire area, or the entire map basically. But yeah, we just skip all of that, so we gotta be a bit creative in the way we actually get to the parts of the game we're supposed to. Alright. So we're coming up on the second to last corruption. And then we're gonna have a jump that I hope I don't mess up too much. Because I mentioned that there are 7 corruptions throughout the run that we need to clear. And after we clear the 7 corruptions, there are 4 like cores, I guess, that we need to gather. And if it wasn't for the fact that the mother sprite from earlier gives us a core once we've cleared all the 7 corruptions, this run would have probably been a lot shorter. But yeah, unfortunately, we have to do all the corruptions. Which again is why this game is, like, the run ends up being fairly linear. Get this animation cancelled, nice. Alright, sweet, that was really good. So this is our first core. You can see 1 out of 4 in the bottom left. We just, once again, death abuse, just respawn back at the checkpoint. And now we teleport back to the very beginning. And I made up a new strat for this next section. Like, it's a minor thing, but I made it up like the day before I left for this event, so of course we're gonna do that. I practiced it for a grand total of 3 minutes. So I imagine it will be fun if we can actually make it there. Let's try that again. Let's just say these are all intended deaths, it's fine. It's part of the route, it's very important for RNG manipulation later on in the final boss fight that we don't do. There we go, that's more like it. This is so bad. So I was trying to do a long jump there to get far enough out so I could grab the same grapple point that I used earlier, but apparently collision was not on my side. So we'll go down this path for the 3rd time, but it's all good. I'm gonna try something really risky. Beautiful.
Once again, all part of the route.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna kill myself here. So there is a case to be made for not doing respawns, but instead just walking or making your way. Okay, the teleporter left without me. I would like to come along, please. Yeah, there's a case to be made for just making your way back here one way or another instead of suiciding way back. But there's a thing where this game has random death animations. Some, like, certain things affect what death animation you get, but yeah, in the case of this, like, corruption thing, like the corruption area, if you get hit by corruption at any point, you get a really slow, like, animation of you just choking to death, which makes the respawn kind of iffy. But if you're confident that you don't hit any corruption, then you're probably fine. So you can see we've clearly explored the entire map. There's nothing missing. No fog of war, no nothing. Okay, so I'm gonna play this a little bit, so I'm gonna grab this checkpoint just for safety. Anything else would be silly. Another completely intended jump over here. We're gonna make our way to the last core that we're gonna get. Nice, that one. went way better than I expected. So yep, it says core 3 out of 4, but there is actually already a core in place where we, at the area we're gonna use them. So, for all intents and purposes, we're done. So I'm just gonna make it. Oh, that guy's freaking out. He's having a good time. Excuse me. Please fall down. Thank you. All right. So now we make, again, we've been here before too, but we're now gonna enter the big Titan thing. You can see like his arms and legs here. And we're gonna put all the cores in here and basically revive him. And this ending sequence is fairly long. But yeah, and there's not a whole lot to it, except at the very end. I mentioned before, we're going to use grapple storage again to do something pretty cool. It's not going to look very impressive, but it is very cool, just trust me. So, you see our robot friend is no longer here. There he is. For whatever reason, he has like a bunch of different things he can do. He can either just never show up and the button just pushes itself. He can push the button while sitting down and then he just slides across the ground. Or he can just pop up like this and just hit the button like normal. So yeah, if you remember all the way back like 20 minutes ago, this thing on the right side is the big thing Mama was pointing us towards. And at the top of this is where we're gonna make our, of course, gonna make our choice to save the world by defeating the evil. Spoiler alert, we're not gonna do that because it's slow and involves a really long boss fight. I'm just gonna choose to be an asshole and finish fast. So, last bit before the end. Some more basic puzzles. Saving the world before bedtime. Clearly. I promise I will make you all proud. Totally not give in to the temptation of just joining the evil villain. I mean, whether she's evil or not is up to interpretation, I guess. So the story in this game is there's no dialogue or anything. So whatever you're doing is kind of like you just do what seems right and that's it. And then you make a completely uneducated guess at or decision at the end of the game, but that's fine. So yeah, we stored this point. It's going to be important in a little bit. Because what we're going to do is, in this next room, there's the final cutscene. What we're going to do is just jump into this wall and use the stored grapple point. So what I did was I now grappled through the wall, hit the trigger for the cutscene, so you can actually hear the music of the cutscene playing in the background. Normally, the moment you enter this next room, you lose control and you move really, really slow. I, on the other hand, can move around and actually attack this chick while the cutscene is still playing, which moves her into position way faster and wakes this chick up on the throne thing. So you can hear me coughing in the background. That's actually me being like corrupted and just slowly making my way towards the position I'm already in. So this ends up like speeding up the entire process by like 15 seconds. Oh, okay. Well, I disappeared. It's fun. Space is good. It's not that good. It's okay. So yeah, this was just a bit of an accidental find, I guess. And I was just fooling around with grapple storage, trying to find ways to make it work. And yeah, this, like I said, just ends up saving like 15 seconds. And it's a lot of fun. And we're gonna get the choice right at the end here. We can either join this chick, or we can try to attack her, basically. If we choose to attack her, then we will get a little fight with a little chickie poo. And I wish this was a little bit faster. This could have been sub 50. Oh well. But yeah, we would get a little fight with a chickie poo, and because of this trick, you would actually you can actually, since you can move during the cutscene, you can actually attack her and kill her off almost. Ready first time? In time. 50-11, that's not bad. That's a PB at least. I'll take it. Underestimate, I'll take it. But yeah, that's so that's Hob. Unfortunately, Runic Games shut down after making this game, which is a real shame because it's a beautiful game and it's very lovely. Shoutouts to Half Coordinated, who got the world record in this game at 50:02 or 50:03, I can't remember. I think it was 50:02. Like yesterday. That was awesome. And yeah, and shoutouts to Random Pink Bunny, I love you lots. And I hope you enjoy the end of SGU.
And I'm just here to inform that we're gonna have to reboot the stream computer. So the stream is gonna be offline for just a second. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna have a couple runs left.